Hi, Andrew here again. We're going to be looking through the process of revising our CVs using the platform Vectorshift.ai. And we're going to take a CV. When we take a CV, we upload it onto Vectorshift and it outputs a revised CV. This workflow or pipeline assumes that you already have an existing CV. So let's look at how this goes. We shall go through a step-by-step process on how to develop this. And if you haven't joined our school community, click the link down below. And in the description, you'll find the link to the school community. And in the school community, there are detailed videos on how we can go about this process of simply automating the process of revising our CV and contextualizing it for every job and job description. This one doesn't need you to enter any specific information when you have an initial CV. Then the next video we shall do pipeline which asks you a series of questions and generates your CV. What people normally say is a CV builder. Let's dive in and see how this goes. Welcome to this webinar. Today we're going to be talking about how to design our CVs, our resumes, and automate the process of design of resumes. What I'm going to start by doing is running a demo of this pipeline, and then after running the demo of the pipeline, I'll be able to walk you through the step-by-step process of designing your resume and automating the design of your resume. Welcome to this exercise. This is largely AI for HR. We are working towards helping HR practitioners tap into the potential that AI brings, but also upskill and be able to catch up with the trends that are happening in AI. I'm called Andrea Roba, Coach Andy. I am the owner of a company called Phoenix Fortunes and Utah Solutions. We provide HR consulting services, and we provide AI for HR, AI automations and AI solutions for HR management and business as a whole. I'm also the channel owner for the AI4HR Nexus Community, which is a school for HR practitioners that allows them to learn and master what happens with HR. Today we're going to look at how are we designing our resume. How we're designing our resume, we're going to ask ourselves a number of questions. I'm going to see if I can quickly scribble or highlight what needs to happen when we are designing our resumes before we go into the actual design. So don't worry about what you're seeing on your screen. We're just going to walk through a quick series of steps and ask ourselves what exactly happens when we're designing our resume. This is going to be a practical exercise. So as it's going to be a practical exercise, there's going to be a lot more demonstration than actual talking. Well, the demonstration will have a bit of talking as well. So let's see how it goes. I'm going to see if I can share a quick presentation, not really presentation. We're going to write as we go. We're going to be writing as we go. We're not going to be doing presentation, plain old presentation, just going to be writing as we go. And we're going to ask ourselves, what happens when you're writing a resume? When you're writing a resume, there are a number of things that we must include in our resume. And we're going to start with that. And then when we are done with that, then we'll go into the process of automation. When you're writing your resume, there are key things that you need to include. The resume comes with very many components, but we'll highlight a few of them. Number one is the header. Number two is the career summary. Number three is what we call your core capabilities. Number four is what we call the tools and technologies you're familiar with. Okay, I'll just take this here. And then we say number 5 is we've talked of tools, technologies. What else do we bring to our career when we are talking about uh, our CVs, our resumes? We talk about tools and technologies. We talk about work experience. Just pick that one. So yes, we have career summary. We have core capabilities. We have tools and technologies. We have work experience. Okay, so we shall capture number 5 here as work experience. And then after telling us about your work experience, you'll tell us about your consultancies, if you've carried out any consultancies, and if you've done any publications. Number 7, you tell us if you've done volunteering. Number 8, we look for what we call yes, education and credentials. Number 9, we look at your languages, the languages you speak. And number 10, of course, we see if you can give us any references or what you call referees. So we look for these 10 things or we expect to have an idea of you when we look at these 10 things in your CV or in your resume. So what we are going to ask ourselves is, how can I get all these automated every time? So we start with the header, career summary, core capabilities, tools and technologies. Most people skip that section. And then we go to work experience. We check if you have any consultancies and publications. We check if you have any volunteering experience. We check if what your education and credentials include, which is certifications, trainings, and the rest. We look for languages. We look for references or referees. If you don't have referees, we shall come to that shortly. Okay, so again, if you can't hear me, please feel free to just drop a message in the chat and say, I can't do it. I cannot hear you. Okay. So we are going to move into a step-by-step process on how do we get this whole thing automated. Now, I'm giving this to you as a tool in AI so that tomorrow you don't keep coming back and saying, please help me revise my CV. As a matter of fact, career coaches like myself charge about $100, and that is on the low end. If you go to websites like Devex or Devex for NGOs or INGOs, they'll tell you 250 to 350 euros for a CV review. Now with AI, you can get this done, sorted without having to look at to get a career coach to go through it. The trick about running this is you need to have an AI automation platform that you could be using. If you do not have one, they're available. There are those that you can set up on your system, but that's a lot of techie background that you don't need to go through. Then there are those that you can set up on using software as a service, which means you just sign up, sign in, and you get yourself helped out. So what are the things we're going to be looking out again at? How are we going to automate getting a CV done? If you're planning to help your friends, you're planning to be a career coach, this is good for you. If you're planning to help yourself and save yourself the $100 that I would be charging you for every CV, this would be very helpful for you. So we're going to go into a quick demo of what happens when we are going to do an automation. I need to share another screen and see how this goes. Now I'm going to be looking to my I don't know that it's going to be left or right when you're seeing it, but I'm going to be sharing a couple of things that you should be able to see. Let me know if you don't see my screen. There should be something that you see on the screen. If you don't see anything, the screen that I'm sharing is going to help us go through a process of defining and setting up a software as a service application. So we're going to do a software as a service called Vectorshift. Sorry, I've switched keyboards, so I'm trying to get Vectorshift.ai. Vectorshift.ai is a no-code, low-code platform that you can use to automate your workflows and both back office and front office and HR. A lot of workflows and work processes can be automated if you use a platform called Vectorshift. So this platform allows you to create a free account. You can create a free account. It's vectorshift.ai. I'll just need to repeat that. You create a free account and start going through the process of building what we call workflows. In Vectorshift, they're called pipelines. So what does this involve? You just log in and get started. We said we're going to work on our resume. So to create an account, you just have to go to get started, register with your Gmail, and go through the process of registering. So this is my dashboard. I could say this is my dashboard or my home dashboard. You don't need to. When you get into your dashboard, this is what you see. You're going to see a whole plain screen that shows you what you need to do with Vectorshift. Now, when you're creating a resume or you want to improve your resume, there must be things we call inputs. You must input certain data, and then that data must be processed, goes through a series of processes before you generate specific outputs. So this is the whole process of automation of your resume that we're going to be working with or looking at. Okay, so if you're going to have your resume to be uploaded and you need to tailor it to a specific job type, you must have inputs. And how do we get inputs on Vectorshift? We click and drag. And remember, this is no code, so we do not want to start writing code. We do not know how to code. We are HR practitioners. I'm not a programmer. I'm an organizational psychologist, and it just takes a bit of time to learn what it takes. So we'll have inputs. One input will be your CV, isn't it? We'll call this input CV upload. This will allow us to upload a file, which is your CV, and take it through a series of processes. And maybe at the end of the day, we shall get an output, which shall be another file, but we shall leave it as text now. And this output shall be what we call revised what? Revised CV. Okay. So let me know if you can't see the screen that I've shared. If you can see the screen in the chat, you can just write in the chat. If you can't hear me, also write in the chat that you can't hear me. So we're going to go through the process. You upload your CV. We also have to be able to instruct the LLM, which means large language model, what the job I'm applying for. So we shall call this job type. Okay.
So I want to upload my CV. I want to tell it this is the kind of job I'm applying for. And maybe at the end of the day, I should get an email. I don't know whether we'll complete this in the next 2 hours. If we don't, we should see what will happen. So email, this will be my email. At the end of the day, it should be able to send to me an email of my revised CV. Maybe one other thing I could add here is, of course, my name, such that it addresses me as me at the end of the day. So that will be just the things I do. So these are the 4 inputs that will go into our LLM. Now, this is what happens at Vectorshift. You've already learned that there's something called an input node. We call these nodes. When you click and drag that thing that I'm moving on the screen, we call it a node. When you can label it, as you have seen, you just click, you drag, you label it. You can even call it Ande if you want, and you're done. So you have 4 inputs. We have 4 inputs, and we want them to run through a mechanism that allows us to revise our CV. Now, the power of CV revision lies in your ability to prompt, to write good prompts. Remember, we said the CV has a number of sections. Now, there are very many tools you can use to automate CV review, but I'm going to use the simplest so that you don't get confused. There's a more complicated one, a more complex one, which I think would give you a more robust output. And let us try something simple. I'm going to use an LLM. What an LLM is, we pick an AI. So on our menu here, we go and look for the word AI, and there are different LLMs that you can use: OpenAI, Anthropic, Cohere, AWS, Google, Gemini, Azure, Perplexity, Grok for X, and then different open source AIs. So we'll just use the familiar one. You guys are very familiar with ChatGPT. And ideally, if you want to have a very robust CV, you would have an LLM running the header, an LLM running the career summary, an LLM running the core capabilities, another LLM running an assessment of the tools and technologies, etc. So let's see if we can go through that painstaking process. Otherwise, that's why this webinar was scheduled for about 2 hours. The first thing we shall say is we shall call this CV header. Okay. Should I take you through the difficult one or the easy one? Everyone likes life easy, but this will make your life a lot easier at the end of the day. So what happens when you have an LLM like this? It provides for you to give it instructions, which is why we have in our AI4HR community guidelines on how to create prompts. In our resources, we have the ultimate HR prompting guide. If you want, you can join the community and find it there. So in the LLM, there's what we call system instructions. It's the things you give to the LLM to the persona, the characteristics, or the behavior that you want the LLM to manifest. And then you have the prompt and the further instructions that you want the LLM to follow. And then you can choose which model you want. You know, ChatGPT has different models. We have 4.503 mini, 0304 mini, 01, 4.1, and there are so many. They serve different purposes, and others are older versions. We shall use O4 mini or O1 mini. In this case, because we're using a system like this, they are free versions. If you pay a subscription, it comes with access to these LLMs. If you don't pay subscription, the first free registration allows you to create only one pipeline or one workflow. So what are we saying? I shall just pick instructions that I created earlier, which shall be shared in the school community. You don't have to struggle to write these instructions. You shall just copy and paste them. Okay. So the prompt for the CV header goes as follows. You can pull this out to edit your prompt in a pop-out. So the prompt shall say, you are a CV or resume writing expert. That is the persona we have given the LLM. We have told it its goal is to review and improve to world-class standard, edit and parse a CV's header. If any field is missing, insert a placeholder in square brackets and highlight it as yellow. These are system instructions. We shall give it further instructions, which are the prompt. What exactly do we want it to now say, to now do? We want it to review the information and produce CV headers. Okay. Now the details are again captured already for you. I spent time and wrote this prompt for you, so you shouldn't have to worry about how complicated it is. So the prompt is saying you are given a CV header. First, review the information for completeness. Remember, recruiters want a complete CV. Two, in case it is a system that is running through your CV, we make sure it is also ATS compatible. Okay. And we say identify gaps that need to be filled. Examples of complete CV headers are as follows. I've used dummy examples, fictitious examples generated by ChatGPT. And then we say do not output gaps. We have to specify what the outputs we expect from the LLM. We tell it how to structure the header, and we tell it what we expect. We tell it do not include header in your output. Tell us what it should look like. So these are the system instructions. And then what are we told it? You shall look at this CV. So where is the CV? This is, we shall have a CV here. How do we make sure the CV that is uploaded is reflected or captured in the LLM? By pointing it to the CV upload. So I'm going to take out initially all these other items like job type for now. Oh yes, I need to leave job type. Sorry. I'll come back. I'll just rename this. I'll take out email. I'll take out all these others for now. And I'll just say, I'll rename this and call it job type, such that we say we want to have a CV uploaded and we want it to generate a CV header we don't need the job type for now, but we said we will upload it. We will specify the job type. So the CV, when you're linking a node to another, you can either click and drag this to the LLM. Then it will tell you you have to use the connected input. So you just drag this and put it there. Again, we said it's no code, so you can click and drag. Else, you can say, if we to include the job type, I think I'll leave job type for now. We are not using it now. We just want to see how the CV header shall look. Okay, so CV header is here. This is the output. We shall connect whatever the LLM produces to this output here called revised. We shall call this CV header. We just call it output for now because we shall be generating output step by step. If we have this as our initial pipeline for writing a CV header, let's see how it shall look. Okay, we need to upload a file and I need to create a dummy file. So let me just create a dummy CV so that we can work with very quickly. I actually created a dummy CV, but I captured the entire text in the handouts that are going to be shared in the school community. So just give me a second. Sample original CV is here. I just have to copy and paste it and upload it. Copy, new, paste, save. Okay, dummy CV. Okay. So Michael K, where have I saved your CV? Okay, OneDrive. The CV is saved on OneDrive. Okay. Wow. So right done. I have to show you the CV first. So on my screen is the CV. This CV has been fictitiously developed by ChatGPT. I entered the CV for one of the clients, and then I said create a fictitious CV. So it created a CV, and that is it. Michael at example.com. Personal statement: I'm a result-oriented, self-driven professional with training in accounting, statistics, and customer relations. I'll remove this. You guys are not familiar with non-printing characters. What is my experience? I'm a transit, January 2023 to date, I was a transit operations supervisor, Northern Bypass Expressway, Kampala. In March 2020, office administrator. What were their roles? These were their roles. So this is the CV we have. As you can see, it has only personal statement and experience, and it goes on to education, and it goes on to additional skills, interests, and it gives us references. So this is going to be the dummy CV we are going to be using. I'm going to close it now and run back to our pipeline. Our pipeline said, when you get this CV, look at it and output a header that looks like this. I should edit in pop-up again. The header should look exactly like this. Country, city, country, phone number, email, LinkedIn profile. Okay. And we are saying, I'm going to upload this. I click deploy changes just to make sure the pipeline is up and running. I don't export it. I just say run. Okay. So I will upload the CV. If I run it, I want to run it as when you're checking your whether your pipeline is working, you normally go and click run, and when you click run, it shall give you a simulation for your CV, for your pipeline or your workflow. So I'll go ahead and upload a CV, and Michael's dummy CV is being uploaded. Once it has been uploaded, I will say run this CV header, and we see what it gives us. Remember the original CV, what it looked like, just for purposes of reflection. This is how the original CV looks. You get that? We're going to run this CV through the AI LLM and see what the outcome will be like. So we're running this through the LLM. We just click run and see. So as it runs through the LLM, what happens is there is an output. As you can see what has happened to the output, it has changed to the format we wanted. It gives your name first. It tells us which city and country you're at. It gives us your contact number, your email, and it puts a blank that you have to include your LinkedIn URL, as you can see in the output. So good for us for this start. We are now going into the second part. I'm going to pause here for a second. If there are any questions, somebody can throw them in the chat, or else I'll move to the second part of the of the exercise. So we said we've uploaded the CV. If we've oh yes, there's a hand. Please put the question. Please remind me the name of the AI. The name of the AI is the solution we're using is Vectorshift.ai. Let me put it in the chat. In the chat, it says HTTPS Vectorshift.ai, just in case you. So you want to see it there. If not, you let me know if you can't see it in the chat. But it's vectorshift.ai. There's another one we can demo on. I'll probably do a similar demo, but with another platform and maybe a third platform. There are many different platforms you could use. For now, I'm using this. So we are done with the header. We said our CV has other sections. What other sections are these? The other sections are career summary. So we're going to move to the career summary section. If we are able to finish in the next 1.5 hours, we'll finish. If not, we shall continue in the next webinar. But we've at least gone through this section of how do we get our header sorted. Let's now go to career summary. We'll do the same thing. Oh yes, we get another LLM and we'll tell it, look at the career summary. So we'll call this LLM career summary. We are going to tell it to also read the CV and we are going to tell it to write a career summary. Okay. Now, fortunately for you, all these instructions have already been pre-designed. So I'm going to just copy and paste. If you want to get these instructions, you'll have to go into the school community maybe a day or two after this webinar. I'll share with you the notes that allow us to go through the career summary and that have the prompts. So for career summary, what are we doing? I have to enter the prompts here. Let me copy and paste these prompts. I hope I have it very near. We got header. Now we are going to get the career summary system instructions. Okay, and the related prompt. I'll start with the system instructions. What are the system instructions? The system instructions are that you are a resume writing expert. We are giving it a role. Always remember when you're prompting, you have to tell the LLM or the AI what role, what persona, or what hat it should wear. So the role is you're a resume writing expert. You're a certified ATS optimizer, which means my resume should be first of all very good. Two, it should pass all ATA. ATS means applicant tracking system. Applicant tracking systems checks. So and then we say read career summary or read the full CV. Let's say read full CV because it doesn't have career summary. Read full CV or its existing career summary provided by the user and output a single polished career summary section that is robust, it is clear, professionally, it has a professional identity, it shows the breadth and depth of skills and provides evidence of results. It is metrics driven. These are things recruiters look for. It is ATS compatible, it is keyword rich, it has no tables or graphics, it is written in third person, 200 to 300 words. It doesn't have content copied from the examples. Use only data supplied in the CV. Any information you must infer that is missing but important should be inserted in a placeholder so that the human can verify later. Highlight placeholders with the word highlight in front of them if the rendering engine supports color, otherwise square brackets are sufficient. Why are we giving it all these instructions? Because I come from a nature background, we are kind of cognizant of what we are looking for when it comes to a CV. Hopefully the bulk of you are, but if you're not, these are the things that an ATS will be looking for, a recruiter will be looking for, whether you have a professional identity, whether your skills have come out immediately in the career summary, whether you have any results to show in the career summary. And remember, we always take only not more than 10 seconds to look at your CV. If you don't get the impression in the first 10 seconds, forget it. So what is the prompt? These are just the system's instructions. We haven't even started the prompt. How should it extract and customize this for my actual CV? So I'm going to copy the prompt itself. This is part of the prompt, but it is the system instructions. So I'm going to copy a detailed prompt again, which gives it examples, specifies how the output should look like, and then we test run this as well. So this is the prompt that is coming in. It is a very long one. And again, if you want this, you'll get this in the school community. Please take time. This, you may not grasp this right now. Fortunately, there'll be a recording, and the recording will allow us walk through each of these step by step. And I'll post it on in the school community just in case. So what were the prompts? We have given it instructions on how to rewrite, identify code data, to parse the CV for the following elements: do a case-sensitive search, consider section headers, job bullets, certifications, look at the most senior professional titles, total years, look for everything. Look for a geographic footprint, build paragraph one, build a professional identity and breadth, okay? And then it gives the instructions step by step what needs to happen as you go through the building of your career summary. I'm not going to take you through each of these steps. And then we say, when you close, to show us where this person has done this work. Exposure, is it country exposure? Is it regional exposure? Is it international exposure? All these things we look for in your career summary. And then we say, give us metrics also. Statistics, show us that you increased growth of the company from X volume to Y volume, like in this case, $300 million. Then check for ATS compliance. If there is missing information, put it in brackets such that we follow through. And then we give it one example, fictitious, another example, fictitious, another example, fictitious, another example, fictitious, another example. So we give it 5 examples. And then we say your response, your output should look like this. So these are the instructions you give your ATA, your LLM. Now you see the importance of prompting. If you haven't been in the business of prompting, you want to go back and focus on prompting. Somebody is saying, will we have a recording? Yes, we shall have a recording of this. It shall be in the school community and also on my YouTube channel. So join the school community. It's called AI4HR Nexus, just in case. Okay, so here we are. We have this career summary. We are going to test it also and see how it looks, okay? So career summary, we gave it this information, but we haven't, have we told it to, let me go back to the instructions. There's an instruction missing. Read the full career summary, provided output a single section, okay? We have to say somewhere, section, full career summary provided by the user. The job type, because we are saying we want to read the job type also and out and tailor the career summary to the job type. Then we say output a single polished career summary. Why do you want it to tailor to the job type? Because you want to revise your CV to match a specific job type. So we have to now add the input that we wanted, which we called job type. Okay, which means when you're feeding this LLM information, you have to state what the CV is. We call it full CV. And then we had something we called job type. So this information on job type, you can enter this information into this application by using the curly brackets or by clicking and dragging. So we say this shall be the full CV, and the job type it should be considering is dot one text. Now, this output shall also um, go into another output node, but I'll show you later how we'll combine all these outputs. There is what we call merge, a node that brings outputs together. So I think I'll just look for merge, merge, okay. So now every output shall be coming into this merge node, and then we shall send it to the output node. So I'll remove this output node again and remove this CV header response, because we want to now begin to get all these other outputs into one output. Okay. So it is going to merge the text from the CV header and the text from the career summary, and it will put it into one output. Okay, so that's how we're going to be looking at this. So the output will be here from the merge, and this will be merge section merger. Okay, so our first part shall be the CV header. CV header shall go here. To enter the variable, you open curly brackets. We had the CV header output from the LLM. We shall add another path, which shall be the output from the LLM called career summary. And we'll do that until we finish all the prompt, the entire CV. So I'll click deploy again. You'll see it is a successful deployment. If we have a successful deployment, it means we are good to go. We shall test this CV again and see whether it will produce a good CV header and a good career summary. So where was our CV? This is our CV. Our CV was Michael Kesemanda, Plot 42 Gaba Road, Munyonyo, PO Box this, etc. We wanted a specific format. His personal statement, we will no longer have a personal statement. We shall have what we call career summary. And the career summary is a result-oriented, self-driven professional. For him, it is his personal statement. Please take note. He says he is a result-oriented, self-driven professional with training in accounting and statistics and customer relations. He's known for exceeding performance targets and safeguarding data integrity across organizations. He says he's a team player, etc. If I was to give this a critique, fortunately it's just GPT generated, you shouldn't worry, but it has a big problem. Let's see whether the AI will improve this CV. We say run, we click run, and we still have our CV here, and we have the job type. What job is Michael trying to apply for? He looks like he comes from an accounting background. Let's see. He's an accountant, statistics. He was an operation supervisor. He was an office administrator. But Michael is trying to apply, say, for an accountant job. So let's say Michael wants to be an accountant. Let's put the job type as accountant. Okay. We uploaded Michael's CV and we want him to be, he wants to apply to be an accountant. Let's click run and see whether this pipeline shall produce the CV header and the career summary. Okay, let us see where the career summary is. Where is the career summary? Where is the career summary? Section merger. Are we merging sections? Career summary response. Have I got an output here? Yes, apparently it has given me an output, but the output is not coming through. Okay, was it merging sections? Text, click first. Okay, join all. Sorry, I was supposed to join all outputs. No problem. Rather than pick first, we're supposed to join all outputs. We can click run again and see what it does. So it looks at the CV and then it gives us because we haven't structured the output, it has given us the CV as follows. If you see this output, it will tell you the first output was the name, the location, the phone number, the email, and the LinkedIn URL. The second output is career summary. If you look at this output, it has changed. It is saying a versatile accounting and operations professional with over 9 years experience delivering financial management, data integrity, and administrative excellence across the transport, media, consultancy, and nonprofit sector. Experience spans employment and supervisory roles with organizations such as Northern Bypass Expressway, Blue Orbit Media Studio, Apex Training and Consultancy, and Hope Care Children's Center. He has expertise in full cycle accounting, cash flow management, payroll and statutory remittance, revenue reconciliation, financial reporting, data management, etc. Let me just copy this, okay, and then put it in Word. So we look at the comparisons. But of course, the LLM can produce this as a fully fledged document, so don't worry. It's just that it's probably going to take a lot more time than this particular time. Yes, so this was his personal statement. If you can see it, the ChatGPT generated personal statement, then the revised personal statement is here. And don't worry about the NN, that just means new line. So I'm just going to put it here for purposes. We haven't formatted the output, so don't worry. So see how the career statement has changed from okay, wherever there is an N, it means it's a new line, simply that. So I'll just do this because I'm initially manually formatting. Don't worry, otherwise if we ran this entire pipeline as fully developed, it would give us a better output. It's structured this very way, and we can export it to a template. And don't worry, that's again advanced. So this was the original personal statement, a result-oriented, self-driven somebody, okay? This is the updated statement, personal statement. I'm a versatile accounting and operations professional with over 9 years experience. Have delivered financial management, data integrity, and administrative excellence over the transport, media, consultancy, and not-for-profit sectors. His experience spans employment and supervisory roles with organizations, etc., etc. What does it tell us? It tells us who you are, how many years of experience you have, in what areas, and where your experience is spread across, and then your expertise, and then your networking and relations that and leadership that traits that we can keep an eye on. So in this statement, if I can't read this, this is all the recruiter needs to see before they say, can I pay attention to your what? To your the rest of your CV. Now, most of you think your CV shall have information um, in the content, and you forget that you need to make an impression at the beginning. So you can see the difference between this original personal statement and the revised personal statement. So that's what AI can do for you, as long as you know how to tell it what to do. So when I'm doing CV reviews, because this came out of my coaching practice, career coaching, I've been doing this for a while. So what I did was taught the AI to think the way I think and produce the kind of results that I produce, so that it can do it for 1,000 people at a go and probably at a lower price. Okay, so there we are. We have a personal statement generated, and it looks fair enough for me. And remember the criteria, we said it must pass applicant tracking, it must pass ABCD standards, etc., etc. So we've finished the career summary. The beauty about this application, it shows you what it has produced from each LLM. So this LLM, which we call large language model, produced an output. The output is there, Michael Sem under the header. It produced that output. And then it produced a career summary, which we could see at the bottom. Okay. And it reads your CV and structures it according to the instructions we've given it. Now remember there are 11 sections. If I remember, I told you. We had what? We have 11 what? We have 11 sections. If you remember, we have done resume, header, we have done career, summary, isn't it? This is done. So we move to the third, which is core capabilities, and then hopefully maybe the fourth and fifth, I think. I'm not sure whether the time will allow us to go through the entire 11 elements. Once we do at least 5, you should have learned the whole idea of this is how I create my what? I get my CV to be auto-revised. So we are going to go and add another LLM. The third LLM is going to do what we want called core capabilities. So after giving a summary of yourself, your resume should be able to tell us with very explicit clarity or with clarity what your core capabilities are. And your core capabilities, if you're revising your CV, should be tailored to your the job that you're applying. So we shall pick another AI LLM and we say, let us get another LLM here and we shall call it core capabilities. This LLM shall now go and screen the CV again, and then it shall extract and rewrite for us core capabilities. Let's go back to Michael's CV and see. This yellow will be original, green will be revised. We shall keep highlighting green or blue. Let me put, yeah, I know you guys may not like black and white. Let me just change, dark mode. I kind of like my screen in dark mode, but let me put it in white so you can see better, just in case you're in a dark room. So this was the initial personal statement, which has now changed to this career summary. The initial header was like this, okay? This was the initial header. This is the revised header. Okay, so I'll just pick, where did we have the revised header? We had the revised header here. Michael K. Semanda, Kampala, blah, blah, blah. Copy. Revised header is here. So this was the original header. This is the revised header. Again, I'll just color it blue. As you can see, CV is already changing from original header this to revised header that, from personal statement that to career summary that. Okay, so next one is core capabilities. He doesn't have a section in core capabilities, which means I don't know what his strengths are. I don't know what value, exact value he's probably purporting to bring to the organization. So core capabilities was blank. We are going to generate one with AI. I'll pick instructions again, which I said you shall find in the school community, and you should be able to use those instructions. Core capability instructions. Remember, for us, we have to keep saying you are a resume design expert. I'm teaching you many things at the same time. One is prompting, another one is building your own workflows. So prompting, always remember when you're talking to the AI, you have to give it a persona, a character. We have told it it is a resume writing specialist and ATS optimizer. Some people write with a Z. Its task is to read the full CV and its current core capabilities section and produce a single polished core capability section, that is one. I should add one here, tailored, sorry, to job type. Remember the job that we are applying for. It should be robust, evidence-based, clearly named capability areas followed by concise metrics, matrix-backed achievements. It should be ATS compatible. Keyword dense, plain UTF-8 text, no tables, unusual symbols. These are the standards for ATS compatibility, just in case you're not sure why it is saying that. And then 8 to 12 bullets, each 40 to 80 words. Okay? 8 to 12 bullets, each 40 to 80 words. Written in third person and free of wording copied from any of the examples. So this is the instruction. I'm just adding the detailed analysis process that should go through. Okay? How shall it extract and write the CV? Okay? So I pull the extraction guidelines. This experience or reference? Okay. Let me just copy them and then I'll paste them. Quite many. And add how it should respond. Copy and paste. These instructions shall be available to you in a day or two after this webinar, up to the point where we have reached. So what are the guidelines for rewriting? We say harvest the raw data. Look at the data from the CV. Look for functional themes in the CV. Look for quantifiable results. Look for high-profile organizations, sectors, donors, regulations, and tools. Use context verbs like led, designed, negotiated, saved, increased, reduced. Choose 8 to 12 capability buckets. Pick the 8 to 12 most relevant functional themes related, I should add related to job type, which means related to the job you want to apply for, that repeatedly appear or are senior level. Use title case noun. Order bullets from the resume's primary focus outward. Strategic roles first, capabilities, and then support capabilities later. Compose each bullet and then take into consideration job type, the job type that the user intends to apply for, formatting and ATS rules, and then handling gaps and placeholders. Do not copy phrasing, and then we give it examples. These are the examples. Always make sure you give as much detail when you're prompting. I'm going to capture this, and then remember we have the CV, okay? Read full CV, okay? So the thing it has to read is full CV, and then it also has to read job type. Always remember, it has to match the CV to the job that you want to apply, and that is what we are going to do. And oops, what am I not seeing? Full CV, CV upload, process text. Yeah, so we have three things. We have our header section, we have our career summary, and we have our core capabilities, and we have given instructions, and we are now adding another path. This path for merging sections shall put together core capabilities, career summary, and CV header, okay? And then it shall output. We are going to run the LLM again and see whether the output is there. And we shall say deploy changes, deploy, okay? Now you can extend this pipeline to do so many other things, but for now, we are going through section by section, going through this This whole review. This joining is just for purposes of us seeing what this looks like in the short term. Otherwise, in the long term, we would send it to Google Sheets, and then we still Google Sheets fit this information in section by section in a template for a resume, such that I just download the revised CV. That's a little bit advanced, but if you need help, you can check in and consult, and we see how we can work with you for that. Of course, it will be for a fee. So there you go. But once you build this, it means I can enter 10 different CVs, get 10 different results, 10 different CVs, and revise them quickly. So this saves me time as a coach, career coach. Okay, so we want to run. We have our micro. Let's deploy these changes. We deployed it already. We had our header. We had our career summary. We are going to run it again and see what happens. Okay. It has run. It has given us an output, core capabilities. Okay. So I'll just go down and pick where are the core capabilities. Capabilities are here. Core capabilities. Copy this and take it to our document and see what has happened. Copy. The other guy's CV didn't have, Michael's CV didn't have anything. So now we are going to add a section called core capabilities that have been generated by the AI that has looked at Michael's CV and extracted. Dang, it's all bold, but I can unbold it, no worries. So it has financial operations and reporting. Okay. It has revenue collection and reconciliation. This guy has these capabilities. It has cash management. Okay. And controls. One thing I need to flag, I forgot to do that, but I'm going to do it in the platform. It has accounting software proficiency. It has data analysis and statistical reporting. It has process improvement and compliance. It has customer service and issue resolution. Okay, we told it 8 to 12, but you can do 5, no harm. It has team leadership and staff development. It has contract and vendor management. I hope that's the last. It has a long list. So this is what AI is telling us it found. I told it 8 to 12, and AI is angry. It has given us all of them. Data integrity and migration. And then it has audit preparation and variance reporting. And then it has research and documentation. And then what else does it have? Yeah, it has just that. Okay. Experienced in research design. So it picks all these. Let's see where it says it has got financial reporting. I'm going to split my words window and then look for financial and operational reporting in the actual CV. He said he did workflow, designed total shifts. I saw shift design somewhere. Overall revenue collection, produced daily variance incident reports. So there is incident reports and variance reports. That's financial reporting. Revenue collection. Let's see whether they did revenue collection. Controlled petty cash, responded to clients, tracked production schedules, collected, recorded daily receipts and payments. Raised client invoices. So manage end-to-end accounting cycles, Apex training and consulting. Where is that? We haven't seen. Oh, yes. So it summarized all this and said manage end-to-end accounting cycles. Reconciliation, we've seen somewhere. Updated clean data sets, migrated paper records, data analyst, GIS. I was wondering where a PIN4 was found. Data management intern handled POS transactions. So cash management is there. Accounting, where did he talk about Tally? Yes, he talked about Tally and QuickBooks. He talked about data analysis, SPSS. He talked about process improvement when he was talking about scheduling. He talked about customer service issue resolution. So all of them are there, just reworded or restructured or rephrased differently. I'm seeing questions. What point do you insert the JD for the job you're applying? Yes, you can create another node. Somebody is saying network isn't stable. I'm not in the school community. How can I join? I'll share a link to the school community. Yes, you can add. Let me just go back to this. I didn't create a job room for job advert, but you can even make this pipeline more interesting by adding an input here, which we say input, and then we say, if we call this input job advert, then I can either copy and paste it and enter it as a text, or I can specify that it shall be a file that somebody uploads. Then we would have to go and modify instructions to make sure that it captures the context of the job advert. At this point, we simply said modify it to the job type. But if you have a job advert, you can upload the job advert, change the instructions to reflect the job advert, and then say develop core capabilities taking into consideration job type and job advert. Okay, so we've done three things. We've done the header, we've done the career summary, and we've done the core capabilities, and we have seen the different results, the differences in results from what the person had originally written and what the AI has helped improve given strict prompting guidelines. So this is where we've gone. This is how far we've gone, and then we can continue. One last one. I'll just go to tools and technologies. This is a section that many people, 90%, except techies, 90%, let me say 98, 99% of HR professionals and other non-techie professionals rarely talk about tools and technologies, though they talk about software proficiency, which is still okay. They just say, I know how to use Microsoft Office, I know how to use Microsoft Word. So we're going to just do the fourth section out of 10, 11 sections. They're actually supposed to be 11, if I remember. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, they are 10. So we're going to do the fourth section out of 10, and then we'll go into a question and answer and seek some clarifications. So our next one will be, oh yes, I wanted to specify when you're writing, when you're giving LLMs instructions, you have to specify temperature. I think I talked about temperature and top P in the video or the training in school when we're talking about recruitment, how to automate shortlisting. There's a video on how to automate shortlisting. It's also there. So there's this thing we call temperature, there's this thing we call top P, how reliable or what is the probability that the answers should match what the person is asking for. We kind of prefer precision. Otherwise, if you leave a lot of creativity, it could create scenarios that do not exist. We emphasize even in our writing instructions, do not hallucinate, do not create things, use the evidence that is available. So our next one will be tools and technologies. We pick another LLM and we will call it tools and technologies. So the beauty about working with AI and systems is that you don't have to develop this pipeline 10 times. If you do it once, that's it. What you can keep improving are the instructions, and then you improve how it will be outputted, or how the output shall come out, and how you shall manage fitting it into different templates. There's a lot that's happening with AI now. If I can have a resume workflow like this, there's another AI solution which tells the AI to browse the internet, look for jobs for me, and submit the applications on my behalf. That AI that does prompt-driven web browsing is called AirTop, just in case you might be interested. So I'll have my CV revised. I go to Airtop and I say, look for jobs in this. This is my CV. These are my logins for Gmail. You just go and apply for me at least 10 jobs every day. And then I sit and wait for invitations. In the next meeting, work hard so can stop. Sorry. In the next meeting, we shall be doing maybe an AI agent that is a mini personal assistant. Hopefully, it should be next weekend, which can do many of these things. But we shall be calling on these pipelines. So here we go. We've done core capabilities. We are doing tools and technologies, and we are specifying the temperature. We've lowered the temperature again, and we've lowered the top P. All this has been explained in prior videos. What are the instructions for generating a section on tools and technologies? Again, I'm going to emphasize that those instructions we shall be shared in the school community as a text document, which you should be able to copy and paste if you're going to use this as a prompt. And this is free for now. So do not ask how much is it costing. If you go into the school community, you can learn all this for free. In the near future, it will be billable service. Okay, after this, we shall just go into question and answer. So don't worry, you shall feel free to okay, somebody is saying anonymous attendee wants to share their CV so that I use it as though it was fictitious. We can use your CV as long as you allow everybody to view it. I can give you my WhatsApp, you drop it there. The easy WhatsApp is there, 72717, yeah. Drop your CV. Yeah, I've put the response in the Q&A. I hope, is it in the Q&A on the chat? I'll put it also in the chat. If somebody wants their CV to be tested through this very same process we are actually demoing, this allows us to build real examples. So the instructions for tools and technologies is to analyze tools and analyze full CV. Remember, we have to tell it what to analyze, full CV, and generate a single polished tools and technologies section that is comprehensive and evidence-based. Remember, we said evidence-based is very important. Pick evidence from the document that we've uploaded. So I'm going to wait for your if the person is sending the revised, if a person is sending the CV, okay? But we'll work with mine for now, the dummy one. But the number is there. Somebody is saying, this is utopian. This is not true. I want to see it work on a real CV. Please send your CV and let's see the power of AI automation as it works. So the instructions for tools and technologies are there. I'll not go through all of them. We remember we said whenever you're prompting, and this is now going to be the fifth time I'm emphasizing, give the LLM a persona, a heart, a body, a mind. What mind frame should you be thinking from? And then give it a role. So this will be the I don't want to call it persona, but let's say yes, who you are. It's a persona, and then we shall say the next one will be the role. What is your job? You get the picture? And then your job is that, and then we specify what the specific details of the job entail. And I'm just going to copy that again and paste. How shall it extract and rewrite the tools and technologies section? And that's what we are copying and pasting in there with examples. Okay. Give me a second. It's a very long script. You'll end up with about 100 pages of prompts just to get a resume fixed. But thank God this is all done for you. You won't have to redo. So we've given it examples, we've given it instructions on how to write, harvest technology data, scan full CV. The name is going to be called full CV. For that, we tell it choose top 10 category. Domain proficiency. Okay. It will say give us the domain, give us the proficiency. This is the writing style. Keep impact line to 35 words, formatting rules, handling gaps, and then we shall say that is it. Tell us the tools and technologies you have used that are relevant to job type, and these are the examples. Do not copy any wording from the sample sections. We do not create a table. Create a table using tab spacing. Do not output anything except the tools and technologies. Um, do not output anything except the heading and the bullet. So these are the bullets and the headings. Those are the instructions for tools and technologies. Back to the routine, we say we name what we called full CV. Okay. And how did we say we enter this information? Just move this to the center. Oops, it's quite huge. How do we You open curly brackets, it will give you a drop down list and it will allow us to look at the entire CV that we uploaded. Somebody said, if I have a job description, yes, you would have put job. Here we had job type. You will call it job type. I'm still waiting if somebody has that CV. And then if I had job advert, but I don't have a job advert, next time we shall do, whoever wants a demo on a job advert, you let me know. We can do a one-on-one and I just add the job advert for you. Okay, so there we go. And we've got our instructions. We have to add the path for these to be merged. And Vectorshift allows us to merge up to 5, but I'll show you how to merge if there are more than 5 as is with this case. So we've had header, we've had a career summary, we've had core capabilities, and we have a section on tools and technologies, and all of these will be merged and outputted in the CV. Somebody has shared a CV, but it's not attached. Please attach the CV. I haven't seen it. It's on WhatsApp. Okay. Somebody has attached a CV, so I'm going to just save this and then have it uploaded. I presume you're giving us, put it in the text, giving us authority to use your CV publicly so that I don't get sued for publishing private information. Please let me know. Put it, okay. Yes, because you are an anonymous attendee, put your authorization on WhatsApp that I authorize you to use this CV on a webinar so I don't have legal problems in the near future. Please do that quickly, and then I have your CV to run these 4 subsections. Okay, so as we wait for this, go ahead. Let me just tell him on WhatsApp. Okay. I've asked him or her, I don't even know what the CV says. I've just asked them to authorize me to do what? To use it on what's online. Okay, so this is a she. So please use she. Allow me use your CV. And let's move because we want to close this now, right now. Just tell me I've authorized so that I can upload it. So we have yes, so Miss Sima, Lillian has allowed us to use her CV. We are going to deploy these changes and we patch and we say deploy. If it says successful, it means our pipeline has no error. If it doesn't allow for a successful deployment, it will mean our pipeline has an error. Okay. So here we go. I'm not seeing the deployment. I hope it does. But oh yeah, the job type. Oh yeah, job type is okay. Input is okay. And what we're going to do now is upload a new CV. Let me refresh this window. Pipeline is dragging its feet. Okay. Let's say run. Now we're changing. Miss Sima, let us know what job you would want to apply for. This is procurement, business administration. What job type would you be interested in? Assuming this was a role you wanted to apply for. So I'm asking what job would she want the CV tailored for? And then we see whether the AI will get this for us. Okay, so I'll upload file. I look for this file on my downloads, office administrative work. We have changed from micro dummy CV, and then we shall look at the original CV, which is here, and I'll just click and drag. She hasn't told us which job she wants to apply for, but I'll just put it here. So this is the CV. Oopsie, 400%. Okay. Hardworking business graduate, Sima Lillian, and extensive knowledge in the field through study of procurement and business administration. It's a read-only document. It has allowed me to edit. Okay. And then good sound management, has done this office, currently works as an office assistant, etc., etc. So this is the original CV. We have uploaded it, we have given our AI the instructions, and now we want it to run. What is the job type? She hasn't stated the job type. Let me just see whether there is any comment in the Q&A. There is no comment in the Q&A. No problem. Let me use office administrator because I'm seeing office administrator. Okay. So I have to refresh my pipeline. It seems to be dragging its feet. I hope it comes back up. Yep. The deployment was taking forever. Yep. So we are up and running. Let me try to deploy again and see whether it will be deployed. We didn't even name our pipeline. So we can name this pipeline and we call it CV revision training. Okay. Name it CV revision training. I think there's a problem with the Vectorshift. It's not deploying very as fast as I expect it to do, but that's not a problem. I'll just run it without deployment. So let me refresh it one more time and then we run it without deployment. We named it CV revision training. Let's see how it goes. We still have a bit of time, so it's the rest. After this, we shall just say what we want to do. Job type, we said office administrator. We uploaded the file of SEMA. And we said we wanted to run CV header, career summary, core capabilities, then tools and technologies. So let's click run, see how it goes. As it runs, it keeps showing at the bottom of each LLM the status, whether it is completed or not. Okay. So it will show you if it has uploaded. Okay. Let's give it some time. As we give it some time to run, I leave the room open for questions and answers, or comments, or fightings and fears. This is the time to state what your experience is. Any questions? Any comments? Yes, there's a hand. I'm not sure you're going to be able to do audio, so just write your question in the chat or the Q&A. Can I share your CV with me? I'm not doing CV work today. It's charged. How can use my CV to AI to show that CV is not AI generated? And to apply for a personal assistant. I'm not interested in learning more about Airtop. Yeah, we shall get to that shortly. Looks like the back end of Vectorshift is having a bit of a problem, but let's hope it wakes up and we get this sorted. So the pipeline is there. See whether it will deploy changes. If it doesn't deploy changes, it will mean there's a bit of a back end problem. Otherwise, it's supposed to deploy and say successful after deployment. I'm trying two different tabs of the pipeline. And the beauty about running these pipelines in Vectorshift is it can run 100, 1,000, up to 10,000 operations. So you don't really need to have one pipeline to run one CV. You can use this pipeline to run 100, 1,000 CVs at the same concurrently, same time. Though it does one at a time, like every software application. Okay. As we wait for this, what I can be doing is showing you the rest of the outputs, the process through which the pipeline runs. When you're done compiling all this, you can decide to convert this whole CV of yours to a text, and so we'll end up removing the output node. Let me just zoom in. If I want to send this to my email at the end of the day, I'll just remove this output node for a bit. Actually, don't need to. I could keep it here. But I create another route, and I say convert this text to a file. Okay, where is this? Convert type. Text to file. I have to use text to file. Text to file. So it will pick the text from this, convert it to a Word document. You can choose to convert it to DOCX, Microsoft Word document, and then it will output the file. Okay. And then we go back to our pipeline, and then we say output, and then we say output the file. Okay. It could do that. Or if you don't want it to output the file for you to struggle downloading, you go to integrations and you select your email and you say send to me on Gmail. I hope Gmail has attachments. Send email. Okay. Now I've connected it to my Gmail, so it would just send, and then I add the attachment. And that item would be this one. Okay. I would attach that as an attachment, and then I say send to. Let me look at her name. Where is her name in the CV? She was called Lily ninsima@gmail.com. So I'll just take that email, put it here to subject your draft revised CV. Let me just say AI revised CV. And I say, hi, please see attached your AI revised CV. Kind regards. There we go. So it could output a file which I could download. It could send an email via Gmail such that when I'm done uploading, etc., I receive it by email. We already have this for ATS, for CV, what is the word? CV audits. We provide free CV audits using AI. I'll share with you a link. Hopefully you could find interest in getting your CV audited. Let me refresh this. For one reason or another, it's dragging its feet. I could just quickly throw a message to Vectorshift and tell them what's happening. Okay. Okay, it's picked the updated one, deploy changes, see whether it will deploy again. It's having a, oh yes, now it has successfully deployed. Let's try Sima's CV. Normally, if it doesn't deploy, it would have a problem. Run, we said office administrator, and then CV upload. I upload her CV, and then I say job type, yes, run. Hopefully it should extract this information, convert it to a file, and then send the what? Show us the outputs, downloadable, and also share the CV. Text to file, the node failed, but the CV came out. Okay, so I'm just going to copy this and paste it in her CV, Sima Lillian's CV that has come out. There is a node that is problematic, but let's see how Lillian's CV looks, at least for the first 5 sections. So this is Sima. Sima is to be grateful, I guess. So Sima's CV original is here. I'm going to split the window and then have 2 layers, such that the original is there and the revised is also below. Okay. So I'll just do this and hit enter, and then I paste the revised CV below. So the revised CV is not formatted, and Sima will get a non-formatted CV because I haven't entered the formatting rules, isn't it? But this is what the revised CV looks like from AI. She didn't state the city and the country. She didn't state the LinkedIn profile. As you can see, it will tell her enter your LinkedIn profile and enter the city and country. Then career summary is here. It is telling us she is a dedicated office administration and business support professional. It tells us she has 4 years experience. She has developed a strong foundation in procurement, logistics management, and business administration with hands-on at KW Forex and African Queen. I need to check whether she worked with African Queen. Yes, African Queen is there in the original CV. Her background: managing daily office operations, supervising staff, ensuring compliance, etc., etc. Then I hit enter, because that is another paragraph according to the AI. Then it says her expertise spans from office administration, procurement, coordination, etc. Let us see who she has built strong working relationships with. According to CIMA's CV, it says with colleagues and management, and then she has managed teams. If you have managed teams, it tells you, you make sure you tell us how many people you have managed. If you have in-country experience, tell us where you have worked. It doesn't. It is in Uganda. Regional experience is not there, and she doesn't have global what experience. So you can delete those. Then we go to the next section, which is core capabilities for her. It was generated, and then it said office administration is one core capability, and operations management. What did she do? She oversaw staff at that KW Forex Bureau. Then she said financial reporting, which shows uncompliance. It tells us she generated and filed Bank of Uganda returns. Oh yes, Forex people have to report to BOU. I was about to say, the AI is taking us for a ride, but yes, if you're working with Forex bureaus, you have to do periodic reporting with the regulator. And then customer service and conflict resolution. This is done. And then she says staff supervision, training. So you can see CIMA's CV has changed already just by running it through the first 4 sections of the AI. Okay, manage subordinate staff and training, and then data management. Here we go, record keeping, and then we have brand representation. Hey, Sima has a lot of experience that she wasn't talking about explicitly. She represented African Queen as a brand ambassador, then organizational and time management as a core capability, demonstrated strong organizational skills. I would probably take this out because I would, as a recruiter, I would just run an assessment for this, same as organizational and interpersonal skills. So I need to refine the instructions for AI and tell it, give me hard skills. You get that? The technology and digital tools proficiency, I'll take this one also out because we're already going to have a section on. So you can see, even as we are extracting this information from the LLM, Sima, please check your email. Let me know if a mail came through. If it didn't, it probably would mean that the alert we saw on the pipeline refused to deliver the mail. Tools and technologies, we had all these sections. She says she's proficient in these tools and technologies, and the impact that she's had is she has prepared, filed weekly reports with all these other things. The other tools and technologies she's familiar with, I'll just put financial transaction systems, and she says agency banking platforms, mobile money services, and she says the impact is she has processed high volume cash and foreign currency transactions. And other tools are data entry and records management tools. She is proficient, and then she's used Excel spreadsheets, etc. And the impact is she has maintained accurate transaction logs. Okay. So this CV is done. What I mean for the first 4 sections, communication and scheduling tools. Oops, I did the wrong thing. It's supposed to be bold. Okay, communication and scheduling tools. Again, most people like using this. For me, it's a lot of trouble. And then where is the impact? She has coordinated business meetings, and then of course customer relationship management. I think here it should have said tools. what tools she was using. So I probably would take this out. Then online applications, internet and online applications. So as you can see, the AI goes through your entire CV, lists all these things, and comes and tells your potential employer, this is what you're good at. You get that? And then inventory and inventory resource management. So we've reached the almost end of the tools and technologies, and that is the impact. Let me just complete it. No harm. Training and onboarding, no. Reporting and compliance. It has mixed business presentation. I'll probably take presentation and business communication, but we already had communication, business correspondence. Yep. So maybe because we use the word tools, okay? In, I think I'll focus the conversation to technology. But as you can see, the original CV was personal profile. I'm a hardworking, motivated business graduate. Here it is telling us she's a dedicated office administration and business support professional with over 4 years experience and 4 years of working experience, which is okay. She has developed a strong foundation in procurement management, logistics management, business administration. It's not here in the personal profile. Where she has worked is not in the original personal profile, it is in the revised personal profile. Her core strengths are listed in the revised profile and not in the original profile. Her expertise is listed. It isn't. It is. She just talked about multitasking skills, ethics, but the AI has revised, looked at her CV and revised and improved it accordingly. Okay, I think I'm going to pause here and then let us have any Q&As that we want to share. But this is more or less what happens in the pipeline. And then it said it had a problem with this particular text to file node. I just need to check what the issue was. I'll just close this output that we had and then see. Text to file. You can even rename the file. Sima, let us know if the mail came through. If it didn't come through, no worries. We shall. Yeah, she said it. It did not come through. But she would be expressing for interest for a job of personal assistant. Okay. So, where we at? You have connected the list to individual. Oh yes, individual type. Section merger. Why is it list? Convert text to file. Output drop down. Would you like to convert this node to a list type? No. Okay. I connected to the wrong output. I see why. Yeah, so it was supposed to be from this text. Yeah, it is text. Section merger output text. It's correct. Okay. It is correct, but there's a glitch with the node because it wants me to compile it as a list, which I would rather not. If I enable it to a list node, it will send you a list of outputs. That's the trick. Okay, I'll fix this shortly, but I'll just leave us to ask a couple of questions and see what happens, and then we move to the next thing. So she said she would want to have applied for the role of personal assistant, and we can change that and ask it to write for us a CV tailored to the role of personal assistant. Let's deploy this. And then I work on, so deployments are a bit of a problem. Keeps coming on and off. Okay, so we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, and we've seen a typical example of how this works. Now, if you've picked one or two skills, you should be able to now add instructions for work experience, consultancies and publications, your volunteering experience, your education and credentials, your languages, and references or referees. Normally, what happens here is the referees, we always say state available on request. Why? As recruiters, you don't want to be giving personal information of people when you're not sure they are going to call you for an interview. So up to the point where they decide they want to hire you, then you say, oh yes, now I can give you my what? My referees. And this is the recommendation we give to people. Don't just throw your references anyhow. Somebody might know somebody and then say, oh, I know this guy, let me just call him to find out. And you hadn't alerted your referee because you applied with and haven't been invited yet. So I want to stop there for now and see if there are any other questions. If there are no other questions, um, we still have 15 minutes. We could continue. There is no harm continuing. But we've done, just to remind us, we started with a CV header. We walked through a process of how do we create a pipeline. We walked through a process of what are the requirements if we are going to revise our CV. We walked through a process of if you're going to have a good CV, it should have 10 components. One is the header, two is the career summary, three is the core capabilities, four is what tools and technologies you're familiar with, five is your work experience, six is the consultancies and publications you've done. If you haven't, volunteering experience, education and credentials, what languages you're proficient at, and then referees. Then we went through each section for the first four sections, creating, inputting an, configuring an LLM for each of the sections. That means we would have approximately 10 LLMs running with detailed instructions. These instructions shall be shared with us in the school community such that we are all part of this and get this experience together. Let me just go to school. The school community is called AI4HR. We just have about 200 and something people right now, which is okay. It is barely 3 weeks old. And here we train or we help HR practitioners to improve their AI skills. Right now, there's free membership. Let me just share the invite link here, and then you should be able to be part of the school community if you haven't joined yet. Just click the link and request to join. It will be there for you to join. Now, how best can interesting learning, okay. Somebody is interested in learning about AirTalk. We shall do that in the near future. How best can I use this knowledge to get myself a good paying job? Yes, tweak the CVs for now and start sending in applications with a revised CV. Create a pipeline for yourself, or you can request for a service from us to help you do that. Or you can come back to the traditional, please review my CV for a fee, and then you apply. I've shared WhatsApp, and when you did first CV, you read the personal statement and said it's ChatGPT. How do we avoid sounding like AI? Yes, the ChatGPT, the first CV I did was a ChatGPT generated CV. You can put a CV on ChatGPT and say, create for me a CV with dummy information. Not use real personal information, forge the information. So that's what I did. And that's how it came. It just copied and pasted the CV I had given it and just changed the names and the personal details and the organizations and things like that. But yeah, it's becoming harder and harder to tell whether text is AI generated or not, because you can run it through 3, 4, 5, even 10, even 100 different AIs to improve the writing in such a manner that another AI won't detect. So there, you can do that in the prompting. And then somebody was looking at their CV and they're like, wow, can you share copies of the generated CV? Not Lillian's at least, not Seema's at least. And then do not share the link to the school community. I have shared the link to the school community. Let me know if you haven't got it. So this community is here for you. Feel free to engage, feel free to interact. It is open for all of us to have a conversation on. And this video shall be shared, shall be uploaded on YouTube, as well as it's actually uploaded on YouTube, but shared in the community. The content, the prompt guidelines will be in the community as just as an agenda to see how best we can grow. Feel free. This is like it's a school community for learning. It's a little bit like LinkedIn, a little bit like Facebook. You can have discussions. You can have resources. So we have a classroom where all the things we teach every time are posted here, where you can start learning. Uh, for example, when we start, you have rules and guidelines how you need to get help on Vectorshift, whether you can download, how you can download the school app, and then we go back. After the first classroom is a masterclass on Vectorshift, and we start by sharing with you prompt engineering guidelines. The next masterclass is a whole video on how to develop a chatbot that helps people answer HR policy questions. If you're in HR, we are tired of flipping through 1,000 pages. You just build your chatbot and say, there, you go and ask the chatbot. You can deploy the chatbot on a website. You can deploy the chatbot on WhatsApp. We also ran a webinar on how to automate bulk shortlisting using Vectorshift. So these are things that we keep on updating in the classroom. You just have to watch the video and follow the steps, and there are forms there and there are instructions for the LLMs as well as the different JSON. JSON is a programming language, a little bit not too complicated, but it's just for copy and paste. It's not for you to start learning programming. So the classroom, the lessons are growing. So this video will be part of the next classroom, part of the next lesson, and a series of lessons. We have members from all over the world. Just in case you're curious, these members come from every corner of the earth, as you can see. The bulk is in East Africa. We have a couple from South Africa. We have a growing number from India and the Europe and the Americas. I haven't gotten a few from South America. I need to call my South American friends. So this is how AI4HR community Nexus community works. Feel free to tell your colleagues to join. It is tailored to HR. Why we are focusing on this lesson for resumes is because many of us are looking for work as well. Many of us are saying how do we get employed, and we cannot be saying we are good at HR when we can't even write a good resume. So let's have AI work with us, or let's work with AI and get our resumes fixed, and stay in the community and learn how to use AI in your HR work. And when tomorrow you say, what are the tools you can use? You say, I know how to use AI to generate a job description. I can use AI learning from the community how to shortlist. I don't have to spend hours. I just develop this pipeline and workflow. The CVs will be uploaded. The shortlist shall be generated. We can even extend that such that it produces a shortlisting report. The couple of projects we're working on an AI personal assistant. We shall evolve to an HR assistant, but it's a complex work. That one shall be for a fee. A fully fledged HR assistant who can do job adverts, recruit, do job descriptions, can do HR policy consultations, can collect information on whistleblowing, can do employee engagement, uh, just by virtue of you talking to them on your WhatsApp or on your Telegram. So this is the direction we are taking with AI4HR, and we welcome you to be part of this experience. As we say, it is free. And if you want to become an AI4HR service provider, for lack of a better word, come and we have a conversation. I'd like to say thank you for your attendance. Thank you for taking your time, and we hope that you join us in other sessions. We have Q&A sessions every fortnight. So every 2 weeks, I set this up and just leave it open for anyone who has questions. The last week we had a demo for a person from the banking sector, and they wanted to see how to manage and escalate customer requests and complaints and queries, and we ran a quick demo for them. So let's see what happens next week. Next week we shall have a session Q&A. Feel free at that point to come and do it and ask questions. Um, just click and then say join. Click the link. I'll send this in the groups, don't worry. If you're failing to join the community, don't worry, I'll send the link. There's a waiting, you have to request, fill some information why you want to join, but that's probably formality. Thank you very much, and thank you for your time, and thank you for hanging in there for this long time. We'll say bye for now and look forward to engaging with you in the school community and in further discussions. It's good. Bye.